I don't like winter. One reason is I always get chapped. Chapped lips, chapped ears, chapped nose, chapped feet. One time I even had a chapped back. And last year people started referring to me as a chapped chap. So that is why I want to hibernate. And people don't realise this, but technology has advanced so much now that human hibernation is actually possible. And I was in touch with a company last year based in Turkey, and they offer human hibernation. It's a relatively straightforward procedure. You take a very powerful analgesic, perfectly safe, according to their website, and then they sort of wrap you up in what looks like a big piece of carpet, and you're essentially out for the count for 6 months. Now, the only problem with this is that it's very expensive. It costs about 50,000 Turkish lira. And the only way you can get to the laboratory in Turkey is via cable car. And I'm not so good with heights, so I had to cross that one off the list. But then I found a much cheaper alternative called Hibernate. Hibernate is a home hibernation kit, and it's the same principle really. You take a very strong analgesic and you go to sleep for 6 months and you hopefully wake up in the spring. Now the only thing is that during those 6 months you have to have a feeding pipe inserted. This pipe is attached to a pump, and the pump pumps food down the pipe into the body, and then there's another pipe called the exit pipe, and this pipe takes waste out of the body and puts it into a pot. So you've got a pump pumping food into a pipe and another pipe taking waste out of the body and putting it into a pot. Pump, pipes, pot. And the only thing is you need somebody to regularly check the pump, clean the pipes and empty the pot. So I asked my life partner Dorothy if she would do this, because it's a pretty straightforward process. You know, check the pumps working, clean the pipes and empty the pot. You know, not a big deal. And complete in the Hibernate kit, they include a really thick pair of rubber gloves, a big bottle of soap and a clothes peg. So everything you need. But unfortunately, it was a firm no from Dorothy. So then I considered asking my neighbour, Tom Morkins. But the problem with Tom is he's very forgetful. And I was concerned that he would mix up the pipes. And I didn't want him inserting the food pipe where the waste pipe should be going. And I certainly didn't want him inserting the waste pipe where the food pipe should be going. So to cut a short story even shorter, I won't be hibernating this year. And yes, I am disappointed. But even though I'm going to be once again essentially trapped in this cold grey country, I've decided to change my thinking. And I'm going to become a ray of sunshine. And I'm going to visualize covering everyone I see in hot yellow energy. And earlier today I was at a retail park, and walking towards me was an older lady, and she looked particularly sad, particularly unhappy with a lot. And I thought, I'm going to blast her. I'm going to blast her off her feet with hot yellow energy. And that's what I did. I beamed at her, a big beam of sunshine. And I could tell that as she walked by me, she looked at me and there's a little smile on her face. And I thought, that's my sunshine that's done that. So I encourage you to do the same. Even though you may be feeling cold and looking grey and pale, maybe you're chapped. You're as chapped as I can get. Why not try becoming a ray of sunshine? Beam out that yellow energy at everyone you see, even people you don't like. Blast them with yellow energy. And maybe, just maybe, we can make this winter a little bit less awful. I'll see you next time.